Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making Christmas sauerkraut. I had the idea the other day of making a red cabbage sauerkraut by adding the zingy green apples to it and some ginger and cinnamon, some aniseed and clove to get a real sort of lovely Christmassy flavour into that. So I sliced up my cabbage with a food processor because, you know, you can just use a sharp knife and a wooden chopping board, but a food processor, you can see that over there, is obviously quicker. And I did 2 big cabbages and I weighed them. And the most important thing with sauerkraut is to make sure you've got the right amount of salt on your cabbage. So you slice up your cabbage by whatever method you choose. I use a food processor, as I said. Then I put it in a bowl and I use Redmond's real salt because I like the flavour. It's got minerals in it and it is very pure. It hasn't got anything, it's not like sea salt which might have pollution from the sea in it, and it's full of minerals. You can buy it on Amazon. It comes from America. So you put onto your sliced up cabbage, you put it in a bowl and you put whatever the cabbage weighs, you put 2% of salt onto it. So in that case, a cabbage of 1,000 grams, you put 20 grams of salt, and you just leave it for 2 or 3 hours, and it gets really wet. Just sort of kind of the salt draws out the juices from the cabbage. So then I took that chopped up cabbage and with the salt on it, you don't need to rinse it. You need that salt for the preservation process. You need the salt to kill the microbes. If you try and make sauerkraut without using the right amount of salt, and I've tried doing it with reduced salt just to see what happened, and what happens is it goes mouldy and you have to throw it away and start again. So to my 2 cabbages, I had a red one and a green one. The green one was a big Savoy cabbage. I didn't wash the cabbages, I just took off the outside dirty leaves, kept a couple of the clean whole leaves, and then took the core out and chopped up the rest. And then to that I added up 2 chopped up green apples, which I didn't bother taking the skins off. I also added a good chunk, probably about that much size piece of root ginger, which I also chopped up very finely. And what else went into there? Then I think that was just the cabbage and the apple and the green and the red cabbage. And then I added the spices, so I added cinnamon, about, if you're going to use powdered cinnamon, about a teaspoon, but it's up to you, whatever tastes good to you. You know, if you love cinnamon, you want more of it in there, or you love ginger and you want to add loads of powdered ginger, that's fine. It doesn't matter. There's no hard and fast rules. As with all cooking, it's just down to personal taste, and be as creative as you like, because that's how you, by mixing the flavours and trying different things, that's how you learn and progress with your kitchen skills. So I'm packing that down into this jar. Make sure whatever jar or pot or container you use, make sure it's nice and clean to start with, so you're not introducing any outside bacteria into there. Make sure everything's been rinsed in hot water. Rinse off any soap residues that may have been there. You don't want those fermenting in your jar. All goes into a jar. In fact, my 2 cabbages made 2 big jars because they were quite big. They were like over 1 kilo each. So here's one I prepared earlier. These jars have a seal on them which like to come off and annoy me. And what you're going to do is you're going to squash that down as much as you can in the jar, and you can, hopefully you can see that. You start to see that there's so much juice coming off those cabbage leaves, coming out, and all the apples in there, that you almost don't even need to add any more liquid. You really give it a good old squash down. That rubber seal's just fallen off again. Give it a good squash down, so that you're pushing the air bubbles out of the jar. And then we're going to put a drop of filtered or spring water filtered water goes into that, just so you see the liquid just come up to the top. Just want the vegetables to be submerged, which they pretty much are already. And then you take your cabbage leaves that you kept over, clean off any bits around the top there, and then press that down and over there so it sort of forms a lid over the cabbage, over the chopped up cabbage in the jar. Same with the other one. Oh, I haven't left myself much room in that one. Doesn't matter. Press it down. You can see that air bubbles are coming out. Obviously my hands are really clean. And I've only got one glass weight here to show you, but you can buy these on Amazon. They're they're called mason tops, the little glass pebbles. You can equally go and take a pebble from the garden or off the beach and use that instead, obviously, when you've washed it. You just want to keep the vegetables submerged. It just keeps everything down. And then every few days I open that up and press it and just press out any air bubbles which may be coming out. That's the air bubbles are all part of the fermentation process. Oh, there's the other one. It tells you it's all working as it should. That rubber seal doesn't want to stay on there at all today. Of course it doesn't. And you're going to just put those in a corner of your kitchen somewhere, in a cupboard. Don't forget about them, because you do need to check that they're not getting too bubbly, and you let those bubbles out every couple of days. And by Christmas time, which last time I checked was 50 days away, so I guess it's less now, they will be really, really good condiments to add to your Christmas dinner or any other meals at Christmas time. Giving them a lovely festive flavour. There we go. There's one I did a few days ago, which is already well on its way, but I like to ferment them for 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm always adding to my collection, because every jar you make has a different microbial balance to the last jar, because the microbes are on the vegetables themselves, and they're in the room in which you make your fermented foods. So everybody's kitchen is different, everybody's preparation area is different, and the profile of every sauerkraut is different, which is why it's important to have a variety of them, so that you're getting a variety of different friendly, beneficial bacteria in your gut. Thanks for watching. I hope that was enjoyable, and please tell me in the comments how your own sauerkraut making goes. Thanks for watching.